sneakerheads, welcome back. Welcome back to my channel. Hi guys. So guys, I went onto the YouTube, scrolling through, and I seen a video that was talking about, I didn't even watch it all the way through because I was on my way out, but it was talking about being over a certain age and having a sneaker collection. So after thinking about it for a minute, at first, first when you see stuff like that, you get on the defensive, right? You start getting a little upset, want to react, respond, and not necessarily in a good way, because the initial shock of the question, I guess it surprises the fellow sneakerhead, right? But then I had to think about it, because throughout my years, I have had a lot of people ask me, why do I collect sneakers? Why do I love sneakers? But when they ask me, it's not in a tone like you shouldn't be. You know what I mean? It's an inquiry minds want to know, right? So I said, maybe I'll just have a discussion. And I'm going to be speaking on my feelings, my perspective. I'm not going to speak for anybody else, because there's different reasons why people do the things that they do, for whatever reason it may be. So, for me, as you guys probably heard me say many times, for me, I didn't necessarily call it sneaker collecting. It became sneaker collecting when I started, I could say, basically really getting into this YouTube thing. Because I didn't call it sneaker collecting. I just had a ton of pair of sneakers because I love sneakers. Sneaker collecting just gave it a title. But that's actually what I've been doing for years, just collecting sneakers unconsciously. But what a lot of the younger generation, it just seems that they don't understand why I, at this age, is still into sneakers. Sneakers is fashion. A lot of people say, they like fashion, so they continue collecting sneakers or buying sneakers or wearing sneakers to go with their fashion. When sneakers started for me, see, this is more of a generational thing, because you youngsters get to reap the benefits of what we had to go through. You know what I'm saying? So as you guys come up, it's already there for you. It was not there for us when we came up. When we came up, it wasn't a fashion thing. Sneakers, like I said, it wasn't a lot of fashionable sneakers when we were coming up, or I was coming up. Very few. Very, very, very few. So we had to wear what was available. So it wasn't until the mid to late 80s that fashionable sneakers really took off. I grew up in that hip hop era when hip hop took off. All you youngsters get to reap the benefits of what came. It wasn't there when I was actually growing up. So we got to enjoy the beginnings of it. Now it's like everywhere you go, anywhere you go, you see all different types of music and fashion, and so you guys, you get an upper hand on us because it was already there for you. So you don't maybe necessarily appreciate. See, I appreciate it more probably than some of the younger people because of the fact that I went through it. So the appreciation is different. That's one thing. Another thing that, is different is my passion as well. So in my day and age when I grew up, it wasn't as prevalent to see black people, so popular, so famous. So, in my era, a lot of black people were still struggling and going through the struggle, and like now you see black billionaires, and I didn't see black billionaires in my era. You know what I'm saying? So for me to see, black people come up like that, and I don't want to make it sound, prejudice or it's just that it's something that we didn't see, and now we see it a lot more than what we seen when I was growing up. It has me to, being more appreciative of the accomplishments that a lot of these black people made, so I'm proud of them. I support them. So my feelings for certain people like Michael Jordan, right? I am so appreciative of him. I am so proud of him. And I support him, right? And you always hear, oh, you're not supposed to idolize anybody, or your superstars, or whoever's supposed to be your parents and all that. This is besides my family household, right? This is right? I'm proud of. I know who my parents are. I knew where I grew up. I'm not ashamed of them or embarrassed of them or anything like that, or putting them down or none of that. This is plus. I don't idolize Michael Jordan as being a god or nothing like that. No. I am proud of his accomplishment. He was able to make it in times where it wasn't so nice. It's a lot of fighting, a lot of struggling, and I don't mean like hand fighting. I mean fighting to prove yourself, struggles to prove yourself, or you had to go above and beyond to prove yourself. So that's why I say Michael Jordan has made a lot of change in the NBA and made it able for a lot of other people to excel. Because if you look at them NBA contracts was not that big back then as they are now. I mean, so those are just small examples. I don't want to get into all the things that we had to struggle with, because we still have some of those struggles to this day, but it's not like it was in the times that I grew up. So I am celebrating. I'm still celebrating the accomplishments and the achievements that were made, and things that, I wasn't able to do as a youngster that I now can do as an adult. So as a youngster, I couldn't go and purchase Jordans and all that, in the beginning, until I got my own job. And then again, I still couldn't get as many pairs. I still had to be selective, and it was, a lot more difficult then than now. Now that I'm grown and can purchase, my own shoes and stuff, then I do. And I get joy in my shoes. I like my shoes. No, I cannot wear all these shoes at one time. I know that. But the joy is knowing that they're here and they're available when I do want to wear them. The joy is looking at, especially my Jordan collection, that shoes that he wore in the NBA. It kind of takes me back. Like, each shoe is a different time, a different era in my life growing up, and what was going on in that time. Watching Michael Jordan on that court. I mean, live and in person at some of his games, and just watching him on the television, and knowing that I was there in that era and I had the same shoes on that he had on. It was cool, fascinating. It was great. It was great. But again, it goes beyond Jordans as well, because I don't just wear Jordans. I like Nikes as well. I got some Adidas, So it's just a lot of nostalgia. A lot of things, because we like to revert back to things that happened in our childhood. And not everything in our childhood was good. But the good times we do like to indulge in. And it's amazing seeing that, again, things that I liked 30 plus years ago is still hype today. All these generations are still buying what I liked 30 years ago. So when we grew up and these fashions started happening or whatever, everybody wanted to have the flyest gear. Everybody wanted to have the best outfit, something different and unique, and that was status quo. I mean, that's how it was. First day of school, everybody coming to school, got their fresh kicks on, and I mean, that's just how it was. That's how we grew up, that hip hop, the fashion, that was the time. And really ain't much changed now. A lot of these kids want to go get their school clothes, step out in their fresh gear, or they want to be different and creative and have something unique. But it's all fashion. It's all wanting to be different. That's what you like, and that's what you chose. I think what a lot of the younger generation is, I have a question for them, and that is, what are you passionate about? What is your passion? What do you even care about? I mean, I see a lot of carefree people around, and really don't care too much about anything. But I mean, I think for me, I love my passion and my joy. It gives me comfort. It gives me something to shoot for, something to be proud of, something to admire. I don't follow the younger generation and understand what is it that motivates you. What are you motivated by? What are you passionate about? What do you like? Another thing with collecting these sneakers, people say, oh, you waste money and yada. Well, if I need some money, or if I wanted to, sell, I could sell these sneakers and get money back, And the way it was, I don't know how it is now, because I don't really sell sneakers like that. But some of these sneakers, you get back more than what you bought them for. But that's not my motivation for getting them. You know what I'm saying? That's not why I do it. I buy what I like. It's what I like. if you really look, like when I used to get this question a lot from a lot of people, I used to ask them, I'll be like, I'll look at a lot of females and stuff, like, look, how many purses you got? You know, yeah, some people have like hundreds of purses and stuff. Well, I don't carry purses, so I don't collect purses. And they'll think about it and they'll be like, look, but their intentions wasn't to collect purses. They just buy what they like and it just accumulates. So I'm like, you like what you like and I like what I like, you know. You can't carry all those purses at one time. You got some people that like jewelry. You know, they buy a whole lot of jewelry. You can't wear all that jewelry at one time. But, I mean, that's what you like. Some people like hats. Some people, I mean, it's just, some people got wardrobe of clothes. I mean, tons of clothes. Clothes in every room, every closet, you can't wear all those clothes. But that's what you like. So it's different strokes for different folks. But for whatever reason, it's their reason. It's nothing wrong with it, in my opinion. And I guess that's because I do it. and I like collecting my shoes. So, but it's fun. It's good having a lot of different varieties of shoes and different colors. And sometimes, like I say, a lot of it became because of the resale game, is why I bought like a lot of shoes. And sometimes it is true that I have bought shoes that are really not for me, like New Balance, right? It took me buying several pairs of New Balance to realize, like, hey, this just ain't for me. It is just not for me. But I tried it, you know. There's other shoes that I bought and I was like, I ain't feeling those. Once they get here, you have them in hand, you know, they sit around for a while and you be like, it shouldn't be in my collection, because I'm really not caring about those shoes. I'm not feeling those shoes, you know. But a lot of times you don't find that until you get it in hand and put it into the collection, and you just find out it's just not the right fit, you know. So you go through those phases. Nothing that I do is necessarily intentional, you know. Like I said, sneaker collecting wasn't intentional. It didn't start out that way. You know, it just started out a girl liking sneakers and just had a bunch of sneakers. And then I had to start my sneaker collection over because after I had my son, my foot grew. So I couldn't fit any of my shoes that I had prior, which was all the shoes that I had that Jordan wore in the NBA prior. I had all those shoes. But once I had my son, I couldn't have those shoes anymore because I couldn't fit them. I could not fit them. And then some of the shoes we didn't like necessarily save. Like, I would give shoes away to my cousins or somebody that, you know, if I wasn't wearing it anymore, sometimes I would give it away. But I wasn't thinking that these shoes would be everlasting. You know, it seemed like they're like universal shoes or something, because they lasted all these years, all these decades, you know. So it wasn't intentional. So when I got back into really buying a lot of pairs of shoes, and then I started buying the shoes for my son as well, and he could care less about sneakers. But I mean, that's not his thing, you know. But it just happened. It just accumulated and accumulated and accumulated. And next thing I know, when it was really an eye-opener for me when I bought the cases. When I bought the cases and started putting my shoes into the cases, it was really an eye-opener then. It was like, wow. I didn't realize that I had this many pairs of shoes, because they were all still in boxes, tucked in closets, you know, so I didn't necessarily see the shoes. But these cases make me see the shoes every day, all day. Which, it doesn't bother me. I like them, but I mean, it just was the eye opener that I had so many pairs of shoes. And like I said, it wasn't an intentional thing. I didn't set out to say, hey, I'm gonna start a sneaker collection, I'm gonna start collecting. It just happened. And then when I got into the YouTube thing, it was like, wow, like, okay, there's a community of folks that are like me. Because I'm like, okay, yeah, I got a lot of shoes. It was kind of embarrassing at first, you know. People was like, dang, you got all them shoes. It was a little bit embarrassing, a little bit. But then it was like, after a while, I was like, so, I like it. You know what I mean? That's what I like. So, I don't think there's an age limit on anything like that. You know what I mean? Fashion is everlasting. I don't know how you could have an age limit on fashion. You know, that's like saying, I mean, a lot of people in my family wasn't like fashionable like that. Like my grandmother though, my grandma was a bad mamma jamma boy. She was so into fashion. Like I say, her pajamas matched her slippers, and you know she wore like them silk pajamas with the satin slippers and stuff like that type of stuff. I mean, she was fashion when she went to bed. You know, that's how she was. You know, so my grandfather, he didn't have a care in the world. He wasn't into fashion at all. You know, so you know, my mom was into fashion. Different type of fashions. You know, she was more ladyish type, and I was more tomboyish like. But that's how the hip hop era was. The hip hop era was tomboyish, you know. So, but she was like her mom, more on the dainty side. So, I mean, like I say, it's different strokes for different folks. It's just what you like. I don't know. I don't know if I will ever get out of the sneaker love. I don't know. I really don't. I can't say that I'm tired of sneakers. Nope. I wear them every day. I still love them. I still like, you know, there are some nice shoes that come out, different styles from when I grew up, and that was like the biggest thing with Jordans, is that every year there was different styles of Jordans. You know, ones was 84, 85, right? Twos was 85, 86s. Threes was, what was it, 87, 88, 88s. Threes was 88s. Fours was 89. You know what I'm saying? You could kind of like, I could map out my years from Jordans. You know what year? So yeah, I mean, it's all nostalgia. It's all in what makes you happy, what brings you comfort, what brings you joy. I'm not hurting anybody. My shoes not hurting anybody. I like it. I like matching my colors, matching my outfits. You put on the fresh gear. It feels good to be able to go and just grab you a fresh pair of kicks. And when I started buying several pairs of these kicks, I didn't think like, okay, I have the opportunity in 2 years to get these shoes again, or 3 years to get these shoes again. I mean, you think the shoes came out now and then that's it. And once they're gone, you know. But who would have thought, like I said, who would have thought that Jordans would be still retroing 30 plus years later? Never would have thought that. So I am proud of him. Very proud of him. I mean, he has outlasted a lot. His sneakers have gone through the test of time. I mean, so again, like I said, I don't just wear Jordans. I wear Nikes too. Nikes have a lot. And then what's different now, at the time, Jordan was a collab, right? But he now has his own brand, so it's a little different. But now collabs are more frequent. You got a lot of collabs, a lot of different stuff, a lot of unique stuff. So we didn't have what was it, the sneakers app and all that. We didn't have that type of stuff growing up. Cell phones was just really coming out. We was having pagers, beepers and stuff, you know. So cell phones was just coming out in like what, early 90s, when we were able to start getting cell phones, like 93 maybe or whatever. I remember one of my first cell phones being the Nextel I-65, whatever. We had the chirp. That was one of my first cell phones. I remember the Razor phone, and you know, like I say, the times. It's the times. Like now, your cell phone is your home phone, basically. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's the times. It's just different times, different eras. And when this generation, this younger generation have their kids, the kids is going to be wondering what the heck they were doing, you know. So that's all this is. It's just a generational thing. You grew up in a different time. Your cares is not my cares, you know. Your passion is not my passion, you know. It's just different, that's all. But it should be an understanding type thing, not saying, oh, you too old to be collecting shoes, or you too old to be wearing Jordans, or you too old. Yeah, no, that ain't gonna fly. Nah, that ain't it. That ain't it. So I just wanted to talk about that because I don't want that to become a thing, saying, you know, too old to do this, too old to do that, you know. Nah, there's no age limit on it. You know, there is no age limit on it. Besides, Jordan is around my age, or a little bit older or whatever, but he's around my age. So you're wearing his shoes. But yeah, guys, I just wanted to talk about that. And like I say, sneakers is not the only thing that I collect, but you know, I collect other stuff too. But it's just what gives me peace. Give me something to shoot for. It's exciting. It's different. I ain't bothering nobody. So that's all it is for me in collecting. And like I said, I just collect what I like. I appreciate the things that Jordan has accomplished, and I just support him. And that's all it is, guys. It's nothing, no rocket science, nothing special. That's all it is. And like I said, it's all a part of the fashion world, all a part of the fashion industry. And we're always dealing with fashion. So, but that's it, guys. So until next time, like, comment, subscribe to my channel. Hit that notification bell so you'll be notified of my next video. Until then, this is Nickie Poo and I'm out. Peace.